This is a functional group and a type of reaction you won't always get in organic chemistry courses. We're going to take a carbonyl, so an aldehyde or ketone, and react it with an alcohol to first make a hemiacetal, and then an acetal. Maybe I should say we add another alcohol. So you'll probably need this to add this to whatever reaction map you have, because it probably won't already be there. So what does it look like? It looks like, well, if we're going to keep it really general, we've got an aldehyde or a ketone reacting with an alcohol, can react with water, and it has a similar reaction, but it makes a hydrate. So we'll look at this. The carbons stay the same, but now we end up with what looks like a hydroxyl group and an ether, but it's not. It's called a hemiacetal. Then we add another alcohol. We're going to add the same alcohol, and we end up with an acetal. Looks like two ethers next to each other, but its reactivity is very different from ethers, and it's a very different molecule. So now let's look at an example. Now that you've copied this down onto your reaction map, we've got this molecule here. And the question is, when you react it with an acid in water, so we use something like sulfuric acid in water, what's going to happen? Well, let's take off one of the alcohol groups, and looking at it we can see that there are two ether-like groups, and you can see that two of them have the same carbons attached, just a methyl. So those are going to be the parts that become our alcohol. So we'll take off this left one first. Keep all the carbons on our main chain the same, and put in a hydroxyl group and leave one of the ether-looking groups. So now we're to our hemiacetal. And here we had our acetal. And it's going to also make an alcohol, which will just be methanol. Now we're going to repeat this again. Because if we've got enough acid and enough water, the reaction will keep going. But it doesn't make two OHs like this. That would be a hydrate. That's not where it ends. So I'll cross that out. What it makes instead is the ketone and one more alcohol.